So I'm gonna start off with Edelen and Grimes. Edelen Grimes is beautiful. She's very pretty. She's when I first met Edelen, I met her at the Capitol. I was with Jeff Young at the time, and he introduced me to her. I was just starstruck. Right, I saw her go against Mitch McConnell, the entrenched Republican, been here for 30 years, and she gave a fighting chance. Her speaking style annoys me a bit, but she's effeminate, right? She's got pretty hair, pretty earrings, sort of a square sort of jaw, but blue eyes. She's gorgeous, and especially that picture right before then, where she was, with the gun. She's skinny, right? You get to see what Edelen is packing, and this is a great gunshot. You had both Mitch McConnell, who couldn't hold a gun, held it upside down, and then Barack Obama holding the gun didn't seem very flattering either. So she holds, a gun better than Mitch and Barack Obama. So Edelen Grimes, beautiful woman, one of many beautiful women of Kentucky politics. And, out of all of them, this is Allison Ball actually has been a surprise. She's the Republican nominee for treasurer. And if actually I want to go back, I love the way she answered her questions at KET. At KET, she'd always give like a real cute smile no matter what at the very end of her answers. And I thought that not only was she come across as confident and knew what she was talking about and lovely and beautiful, which I think is actually a sort of a hard dance. It seems like with men in power, it's like they don't care about their appearance or how they come across or anything. It's just my ideas and that's all I care about. But I think them trying to be more lovable is not a bad idea, men, because in order to be strong, aggressive, stand up for what you want, but also to be likable at the same time, it's sort of like, hey, I don't like what you're doing, smiley face. I'm criticizing you, hashtag LOL, I don't like what you're doing, but I'm still cute, right? You still like me, it's okay. So she's beautiful. I like her style. In fact, if there is a future for the Republican Party, I would like for Allison Ball, people like Allison Ball, to carry it on. I'll probably end up voting for Rick Nelson just because who the fuck would want to be a Republican? Why? Why would you want to do that? But there's no liberals, well, very few actually liberals. Here's Andy Beshear. Andy Beshear he holds his own, right? For a male. He's a good looking male, blue eyes, seems like he got a nice face, nice hair. I remember one time I was talking to a judge executive from my hometown, and I had said that Jack Conway looked better than Daniel Mongiardo. And I wasn't saying like I'm more attracted to him or anything like that, but just that Jack Conway came across as more confident, more, had more self-esteem, more self-assured. And then Mongiardo kind of was like a little skinny wimp. He was kind of like a little pushover, a little peon. And so, I felt like just by their demeanors, Jack Conway had a better sort of chance than Mongiardo. Mike Harmon kind of reminds me of Mongiardo, but they're kind of, I don't know, one question is who's hottest, and then the other question is who would win in a fight. And I'm going to get to, who I think at the very end. But Andy Beshear, I'm not sure if he'd be able to hold his own. Adam Edelen, he's scrappy. I think he could hold his own. He'd at least let you know you're there. I don't know if Andy Beshear's ever been in a fight. Blackie White, he is a great guy, great man. In fact, he's the only one actually telling the truth here in the bluegrass. And a lot of times when you are a lone shot, if you're near the dark horse, you do have, the ability to speak the truth, to tell exactly what the fuck is going on as plain as possible with no political poly speak, and I will always be your representative, no matter what, to the people of Kentucky and the Commonwealth. I am Allison Ball. God bless you all. Like, you said nothing. You talked, you had all them sentences, all them words, and nothing came out of your mouth. About nothing about your stances, your substance, your pause, nothing about anything. So Blackie White is beautiful because he's got a beautiful heart. And that, it does play a factor. when it comes to, and when it comes to life in general, Matt Bevin, I think, is actually, probably a decent looking man, right? But his policies are really bad. And so, Matt Bevin, I've actually been very happy with overall. I don't agree with many of his policies, but it's, Matt Bevin, I feel like, came into Kentucky, is from Detroit. Here's an iconic picture. But he's not from Detroit, but he's from New Hampshire, born in Denver, Colorado. But he doesn't, he's trying to figure out what Kentucky is, what it isn't, trying to appeal to us while maintaining his own self. And I think by doing that, whenever you have a scientific experiment, you always have to have a control group. And Matt Bevin is that control. You have 5 glasses and you put some chemicals in all the glasses except for one of them, so that way you could compare if there was a reaction versus if there wasn't a reaction. So he's the control. He set the standard for how people should run their campaigns. He was always cheerful. He's always nice. He was personable. He had said, by every hand that he shakes is a vote. So he took he's a very good, he took a personal approach, one-on-one, and then also a good public speaker. He's confident, speaks very well, has his own money. Nobody can shut him up. Nobody can say anything. The Republican establishment, the media, a lot of people are all pissed off at him. But being a Republican, if there's a Republican governor, they want him to get the job done, to be successful. So they're pissed off because they don't have any control over him. They want to be able to sort of bully and, put Matt into a box. And I think he's right. That is the reason why people have problems with him. Tea Party, Republican, Democrats. Basically every person that could be pissed off. Somehow Matt Bevin was able to do it, and he was able to do it with a smile. He didn't really say any harsh or mean things. He is bigoted. He doesn't like gay folks, but he, used the election cycle. He come out against racism, said that the Jefferson Davis statue in the rotunda should be taken down, which I thought was nuts. Both the Republican and Democrat leaders all said that it should be taken down, but it didn't get taken down. So, does the governor even have any power? So Matt Bevin's been a treat, and he might win the male beauty contest. So actually, I have not. Well, yeah, I guess I did. Okay, so here is Jean Marie, adorable. Jean Marie is so adorable. Jean Marie is like precious adorable. You want to protect her innocence. You don't want to, don't hurt her. Don't say nothing bad about her. She is country fried, right? She's cornbread fed. She is straight Kentucky, straight up out of Kentucky. Beautiful rows that come out of cow shit, and in favor of, legalizing marijuana. Same as Matt Bevin saying legal medical marijuana, but also the labels with the GMOs. But all those things aside, she's one of the top runners. She's one of the top 2, I think, when it comes to the hottest woman in Kentucky politics, the hottest Kentucky politician right now. She's one of the top 2, and it's real. I know, I understand that it's stereotypical, a little bit sexist. Yeah, looking at people's bodies and faces, but we all have bodies and we all have faces. And to pretend that woman's body isn't always a political football, it always is. And I'm also being fair in it's not sexist if you're just pointing out observations. So I'm going to tell you who I think is the most beautiful man and who could win in a fight with the men too. So it's not just the women, but the women, for some reason, when I post the sexy women of Kentucky politics, I bet you I'll get more hits than with any other video that I've put out. So is it me that you're mad at, or yourself for watching what I'm saying about people's looks? So you're just as shallow as I am. So, adorable. Jean Marie, only called Jean Marie, really. Drew Curtis, he holds his own. This is some of his pictures from his younger days. He's all curly. When you see some of the pictures online, it seems like he's trying to figure himself out. What's the most powerful pose, but also likable. One, he's wearing sunglasses and not smiling. He's just too cool for school. So I'm glad he's actually smiling now, unlike that sheriff picture of Ray Foster. He's all just pissed off. It's almost like he's trying to not win. And so here's what Drew Curtis ended up with, today. But let's see. Let's go back a second. He tried to do a little Billy Goat Gruff, right, with the goatee there, and then ended up with this look here. He's he's okay. He's got blue eyes. I don't hate his face. I don't. It's weird talking about the guys. I'll be honest. But I'm not repulsed by him. I don't think he would play. He could be a villain in the movie, but a lot of times it's the really hideous people who play villains. So I don't know. I guess he's cutish, right? He's got the cheeks and that head and the eyes. So Drew Curtis, he holds his own. Heather Curtis. Oh, Heather Curtis. She is like Jean Marie, only more smart and more conscious. She is aware. She understands what's going on. Not only is she a great wife and mother, but I'm actually impressed with Heather Curtis's. She threads that needle very well, being lovely, being sweet, and being taken serious. And a lot of things actually that she said this campaign season was illuminating just anthropologically, right? Drew said that their marriage is the best out of everybody. Nobody else is doing marriage like they do. One thing that Heather Curtis said was that they disagree well. Her and Drew disagree really well. So, just because you disagree with somebody don't mean you have to go to fist fights. If you have a good foundation, you agree on most issues, most important issues. She also said that when Drew wanted to run, he wouldn't let it go. And eventually she was like, shit, I guess I'm going to have to support him in his endeavors. But once she was on board, then she started asking sort of questions, like, you want to move a mountain? Okay, why do you want to move this mountain? What other mountains? You sure you don't want to move any other mountains? Well, how can you move this mountain? Is it possible? What do you have to do? What money? What finance? What do you got to put in line? And ask all those serious questions that every person would need to know. There was a Professor Wooldridge had a wife that had called him up. He was doing some big test. I want to say MCAT or something. Or Geo, I don't know. It was an important big test, and he had to take the test the next day, and his wife was calling him with questions from the test. So that's amazing. That's incredible. That's a good wife, a good supportive wife who I can also take serious. Also heard that she's liberal, which would make her like an Ashley Judd or a Sarah Palin, almost a pretty face that could say really progressive things. In the debate, I only read the one article that come out, and she said she likes science. Wow. A Kentucky woman who loves science? That's amazing. That's incredible. And, what else am I going to say? She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. I like I think she actually rose the bar when it comes to the lieutenant governors, because it sort of forces Sandy Overly and Janine Hampton to act more feminine, whereas I think they're more bossy, they're more masculine. So I think Heather Curtis gets away with doing both. And, I think there's power doing it both ways. Look, I'm serious, and I'm the boss, shut your mouth. Or, hey, guys, I'm Heather, and I want y'all to do this. Either way, if it gets done, it gets done. It doesn't matter if you're a dick about it or not. So Heather Curtis was a very fun addition to Kentucky politics. And, she's pretty. So I like the Curtis family a lot. I want them to be the next dynasty. Kentucky needs a dynasty. When King George III and John Adams had their meeting, King George III was like, I was the last one to agree to the separation between America, the colonies, and Great Britain. But eventually he had to concede. He lost the war. But he says, I hope that America doesn't have a need for a monarchy. I hope it doesn't fail for its want of a monarchy. And the argument for monarchy is nationalistic pride and to consolidate sort of state power, which isn't always a good thing. But, when you think of who France is, France has been the kings and queens of France's past. Who Germany and Russia, they've been the leaders, the kings and queens. And kings and queens, it's like, why'd you get power? Well, my daddy had power. And then his daddy had power. And then we've just always had power, and look at all these clothes. We're dressed so nice. How could we not be the rulers over all you, poor swine? I like this picture here. This shows the innocents. She walks in, filing for their candidacy. They got 5,000 fucking signatures. They kicked ass. and that opens the door for independence in the state of Kentucky forever. If you get 5,000, and they got like 8 or 9,000, but Heather Curtis is, sort of wanting a hero's welcome, or kind of like, hey, we're serious. We have all of our signatures here. What are you going to do about it? And, she's just kind of like, okay, you love me, right? You like me. But everybody's like real serious. I'm government bureaucrat. Be serious. So I think Heather Curtis is one of those women that all the other women hate when she walks into the room, and everybody's like, who does she think she is? Look at that cute little dress and the cute little hair. Who does she? No, don't even, and looking at their man, don't look at her. No, don't look at her. And what are you doing? But I thought, like, how adorable, how wonderful. I know Jack Conway and Matt Bevin, I believe they have beautiful wives, but I didn't even see them a part of the process at all. So I think the husband-wife, sort of thing is very awesome. Hashtag Heather and Drew should be, what do they call it? Viraling, trending. So vote Drew and Heather and Drew, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. He hasn't been polling very well, but only 30% of Kentuckians vote. So if 10% of those 1/3 of those people out of the 30% vote for him, he splits the debate, the whole election wide open. And it's at the very least, he's politically significant. At the very most, he could win the whole thing. So don't pretend like Drew Curtis didn't matter in this election, because that would make you a lie. All right, Heather Curtis, she wins. She wins the debate. Look, it's all cute. Here's crunched up nose. Here's an awesome picture here. So I hope Jean Marie doesn't get mad at me. Because she is adorable. She is real cute. And here she's standing in a field full of hemp. So this actually picture should have been posted all over the place. Standing in a hemp field. This is Kentucky. Someone's raising hemp is just the male or female side to the crop. So she's in a hemp field, marijuana field, it's wonderful. I wish they would have actually taken a cleaner, better picture of this. This is the future. Of course, America. We always, even if it takes us several years, we usually get it right. And we're supposed to be in favor of freedom. Janine Hampton, I think she's cute. She's got femininity to her. I know I've made, whenever I see Sandy Overly and Janine Hampton, I want to see them get into an arm wrestle match. I want to see who's stronger between the two, because they're really like strong women. I don't know if I would want to marry them. They're attractive, they're pretty. But I almost feel like I would get steamrolled over them whenever they want. Like, okay, shit, whatever you want. But in fact, it was them two. It was like, well, who would win in a fighting match between Sandy Overly and Janine Hampton? I think Janine Hampton would kick Sandy Overly's ass, which would make Janine Hampton, the #1 knockout fighter. So I think she's stronger and could probably knock out the other women. When I think about racism, I think it actually comes a lot from the jealousy of black bodies. They have really nice bodies. It seems like maybe from being original bodies or something. I don't know what it is, but it does seem like they have something extra to their bodies that white people don't have. So that actually gives Janine Hampton an unfair advantage, right? So it's not even fair. She's black, of course. She's going to win the hot award. So I like all that. I think she's cute. She's got her, femininity qualities, does her hair, dresses all girly and pretty. But she's a Republican. So I don't know what she's thrown black people underneath the bus, basically saying, look, I come out of the ghetto and I succeeded. So really it was just all a matter of choice, and it's all your fault because you didn't make the same choices and have the same opportunities as me. And so fuck your life. And where I think there is some encouragement. Yeah, that's kind of true. I also liked when she said that Head Start was indoctrination. Put them into the public schools and indoctrinate them into the state is always good. But I am happy. I think she could kick everybody's ass when it comes to the women. And thank goodness actually for Matt Bevin for doing that. I don't know if he just does it to sort of stray away from the racist claims, but this is something that was good for Kentucky. The Republicans, at least, they're going to have to do something, right? a woman president. There was a black president. Well, you know, if you want your white man Republicans of Kentucky, you're going to have a black woman in the number 2 spot. And so that's good. That's really good, especially since Kentucky is there's a lot of racist people here. I don't know if they vote or not, but there's more Confederate flags than there are Kentucky flags. I don't know why there aren't Kentucky flags. Why don't people love Kentucky as much as they do, you know, the old slave-owning South? So Janine Hampton, this is me clapping for you. Even Janet Stumbo, she's older. She's cute, right? Got a little bob haircut, blue eyes, a little smile. She's lovely. She's got it, you know, she holds her own. She got it going on. Older woman. Here's Janet Stumbo when she was younger. So I almost think she's gotten cuter as she got older. But, you know, she has nice facial features. I don't hate her. And she was running for the Court of Appeals when she was like that young. How long is she? The Court of Appeals is the body right below the Supreme Court. So she's, you know, been a powerful woman for quite some time. Here's Jack Conway. Beautiful picture of Jack, right? Got a little dimple, right? Oh, a little haircut. I think he was Yale educated, and he does have a little cockiness to him. But I don't know. I mean, you're being the executive, so being the executive means you're the man. You can be nice and pleasant and wonderful, but you got to get things done. You got to, you know, I think of, who was that one guy? There was one governor. He was a strong governor, and he would have blackboard meetings in the basement, and he got everybody. That's the type of governor that you need. You need people that, you know, sort of rams their legislation through. You're not going to get everything, but you do at the State of the Union dictate the policies for the state. In terms of looks, he's actually okay. I've noticed he's got a fat face. He's got really nice hair, but he's not perfect. You know, Jean Marie, you know, I'm standing by a fence. Cute, skinny. She's lovely. I don't know, is she married? Because if not, what is her number? Look at her. Aw, little cowgirl, right? Nice. That's nice hair. Some of it's a little too 80s for me. I think she is in her 30s or 40s. But still, you know, still a looker. Still getting the males, you know, at least, I don't know. I appreciate Jean Marie. If she's not being appreciated, then she should look me up on Facebook. Like, what the fuck? Steve Knipper, this is a Republican. He's running against Edelen and Grimes. And when it comes to fighting, I think it would be between him and Westerfield. Between Whitney, Westerfield, and this man, Steve Knipper. So he would be one of the top 2 to get in a fight. And in fact, he's so greasy and sweaty, you wouldn't even want to like put your hands on him. But body weight, he could get a hold of you and out wrestle you. You might be able to have, you know, pop him. If you got long arms like me, be able to, you know, pop them a couple times and then run away, and then just keep on, you know, trying to do that. Come by, hit, run. And that'd be the only way I could, you know, win in a fight him. But body weight, in terms of body weight, that's how wrestling and boxing classes do it. They separate you by body weight. So when it comes to who would win in a boxing match between him or all the men in Kentucky politics, I think it would be probably Whitney Westerfield. But I'll give Knipper a little bit of credit because he's going to get his ass kicked. That's one thing about the media. You got Mike Harmon and Steve Knipper, who don't have a chance in the fucking world. And yet you don't hear them making fun of, you know, the media making fun of these 2 candidates like they've done with like every other candidate out there. Even Drew Curtis, an independent. He is so elementary. We in the media of Kentucky are the smartest people in the world. So Steve Knipper, he's happy. He's, you know, the one thing that I remember at the at this fancy farm, he gets up there and he says, "I really like your barbecue." Nah, it's delicious. And it's almost like, I don't know, he wanted everybody to cheer, "Yeah, barbecue!" And nobody cheered, you know, after that. And then that was it. I didn't remember watching anything else. So Steve Knipper, I don't know, he's not exactly a looker, but I don't hate. He's a jolly fella. Matt Bevin, I think, is actually in his prime when he gets pissed off. You know, like, seriously, media asks dumb questions. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't care about actually getting the truth out there, the best policy, you know, lay it all out and, you know, weigh all, you know, who is the best policy, best character, best personality, you know, and weigh all they want is to piss you off, get you to say, well, you know what, I think your mom's a bitch, and then that'll go viral, right? As soon as Matt Bevin or Jack Conway called a reporter's mom a bitch, your mom's a bitch. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's, you know, and then once they get that, they think they got something, but what are they? I mean, they're just a bunch of fucking, just harass, and then if they piss you off, aha, I gotcha. That's actually operational defiant disorder. It's when you annoy people intentionally, in purpose. You're purposely annoying people, you know, for whatever reason. So, Matt Bevin, good looking man. Especially that iconic shot. Here's Mike Harmon. Now, Mike Harmon actually he had like he looked squirrely with his little glasses, and, you know, he looked worse than Mongiardo. I feel like if there would be a loser in a fight, it would definitely be Mike Harmon. I wanted to get away from that because I'm not trying to make it negative, who's the ugliest and who wouldn't win in a fight. I don't know, I just don't like him. I just could not get into Mike Harmon. I just feel like when I watched him, he was bigoted. He made all these sort of Sean Hannity talking points. No, the Democrats are so stupid. His jokes were falling flat. He had no policy ideas. And he wants to take, whose seat? Oh, Adam Edelen's seat. So he's trying to take, you know, Kentucky's sort of, I wouldn't even say he's better than Bill Clinton, but he's trying to take Kentucky's Bill Clinton's seat. And who is he? Who the fuck is he? And he's, you know, I don't know, auditor. I'll be the best damned auditor ever in the world. Really? Will you, Mike Harmon? So Mike Harmon was a bit squirrely. So when I think about like who out of all the men would get into a fight, he would lose. I think he's the Glass Joe, if you're familiar with Punch Out. He's Glass Joe, and everybody else, you know, going down the line, I think Baby Brashear, Andy, I think Drew, I think Matt, everybody could beat him up. They all could, if they got into a fight. And, you know, Bevin's in favor of cockfighting, so I don't see why, you know, just have a big cage match, do like a Hunger Games type activity for these politicians, and then maybe we'll actually be able to figure out who we like the best. Here is the king, okay? This is Mr. Kentucky. If Heather Curtis is Mrs. Kentucky, then Adam Edelen, however you want to say his name, Mr. Adam, Mr. Kentucky. So he's gaunt, you know, attractive, good hair, good outfit, confident, great speaker, successful, good auditor. You know, like, he's an honest man. He's a good, honest man. And I am very excited, actually, for him. I wish I would have saw that he was running or knew anything about him, you know, before in the last couple months, because I was actually tickled pink. Like, oh my God, we actually got a really good man. He's defended Obamacare. So did Drew Curtis. Defended Obamacare. It's a program. It's working. How are you going to ship 500,000 people's, you know, health insurance out? And that's throwing them into a ditch. So that's a Matt Bevin death panel. So you want some Matt Bevin death panels. And so Edelen was strong on child abuse, on the rape kits, and fighting corruption. Got Richie Farmer thrown in jail. And Obamacare. I mean, he's speaking about Obamacare, and he's going to win. He's winning. He's on the path to, you know, kicking that Mike Harmon's ass all over the fucking floor. So there's two shootings. Edelen and Grimes, Adam Edelen. They've got their seats. No fucking way in the world. 95% incumbency rate. They had to really kick ass, take names. They didn't do it. And so they are in the bag, and Mike Knipper and Mike Harmon, or Steve Harmon, or Steve Knipper, whatever. Knipper and Harmon, that's, they think they got a chance, right? Here is Sam Wright. So actually Sam Wright, he's got an older face. He said that Janet Stumbo sides with the criminals 60% of the time. And that's all I know about him. So he's going negative, and he's trying to say that she sides with the criminals. What a fucking thing for the judge to say, right? Well, she's okay, you know, she's my colleague, and I have to work with her sometimes, but she is always for the criminals. You mean the criminals that are being accused, not the criminals that wear suits? Because I feel like if you think that anybody accuses, to assume that no police, no prosecutor, nobody. In fact, he's a judge of Letcher County, and they're dealing drugs right now. The cops are dealing drugs in Letcher County. So perhaps he should get on his own police officers and his own, establishment, because he doesn't realize that, there's criminality within his own ranks. Hands down, Bernie Sanders supporters are the most beautiful of them all. Ryan Quarles, he's okay. I mean, I don't hate his face. He's a Republican, and he just seems really fake. But, it's 2010. He got pulled over for reckless driving, dumb fucking shit. And, he actually looks really tough there. So that's, you like a bad boy. There's a bad Kentucky bad boy. Rick Nelson, I don't know. He kind of reminds me of, the Supreme Court Justice, the guy, Sam Wright. Sort of an old person's face. I don't hate it. It's nice and, blue eyes. So he's got the little frosty hair. But he's not going to win, the beauty contest. Which really, that's all. Those are the important questions. How come the media hasn't asked who is hottest out of all the candidates and who would win in a fight? These are important questions. How does Kentucky media just skip this? So Ryan Quarles got a little gray hair, right? It actually adds to his appeal. He's all right. Sandy Overly, she is voluptuous. She is beautiful. Okay, she's beautiful. They slapped her knee. They don't kick your ass, but whatever. I'm not gonna complain too much. But it does say that if it happens to a woman, especially Sandy Overly, she's allowed to threaten people. She's allowed to do terroristic threatening. If she gets molested, she's allowed to do terroristic threatening. But when I do it, all of a sudden I'm in the wrong. And she said, "I will kick your ass." Versus, do you want to fight? If someone robbed you of $60,000, you wouldn't tell me. You would just ask them if they want to fight. Fuck off. Fuck you. 60 grand is a shit ton of money. They ruined my fucking life. Anyways, Sandy Overly. Beautiful, gorgeous. In fact, there aren't too many. She's like really cornbread fed, thick, beautiful. I don't know, whereas I think I liked Edelen and Grimes and Janine Marie because they had a slim figure. I think I like Sandy Overly because she's thick, because she is bigger, and it's not fat, it's not gross. It works for her. So the female body is. A beautiful creation created by God. She's married. She looked like a boss, I'll say that, at Fancy Farm with her beautiful blue dress and her just kind of kicking back and just relaxing, and with her man and the entire Democratic, establishment right on her side. She looked like she's the queen. And I think that's what she's used to, is being the queen. So when, I don't know. I think she would probably be the more domineering type. She's the one that controls the relationship. She's not taking the back door to the relationship. But even the back door, like the backyard or whatever, taking care of kids, take care of husbands. That's not, I don't know. I don't look down on that. I think that's one of the most important work out there. And actually, maybe women could, if they want to get a job, why wouldn't they want a house husband to take care of the kids, to make them happy? Why not do that? Women, I'm available. I could clean your house and take care of your kids and love you. It sounds like a dream come true. Live off the grid and just make you happy. So Sandy Overly, another beautiful, sexy woman in Kentucky politics. Here's Jack Conway, right? Ivy League. It says, "Whenever I choose between two evils, I choose the one I've never tried." Now, if you want to talk about who is the most girly, who is the most prettiful, Whitney Westerfield. I'll give him credit. He kicks ass. He seems like a pretty big, strong man, very confident. Nobody seems like they want to fuck with him because he's skinny. Oh, well, you're skinny, so I'm going to fuck with you. But he's a Republican and he's a bigot, and they said that he does pedicures. So, when it comes to who's the most beautiful, look how precious. With his little hair, his little haircut, his little red vest. No tie to give a youthful appearance, and a white coat, right? So he's not traditional. He's totally different. And then he wants to be a bigot on top of all this, right? And the problem I hate with bigots, homophobic people, is that they haven't found the gay person inside themselves. And so they, because love is fluid and we're all at the very, even if we have a minuscule sexual attraction to the opposite sex. That doesn't say that's who you are. But that's when you don't acknowledge that, then I think that it comes out in very weird ways. I think Whitney Westerfield would have trouble hugging his kids, especially his son. I love you, son. He would be like, well, maybe that's gay. You know, am I showing him too much affection? And I think love and logic go together. There's a reason why we have logic and reason, and it's to defend that which we love. And so I think having men who are in touch with who they actually are, because every time that there's a homophobic person out there saying they're going to do all this anti-gay stuff, they turn out to be gay. Recently, Grindr. I don't know if Whitney Westerfield has any pictures on Grindr. We probably should check it out. But there was an anti-gay politician from Puerto Rico, and then all of a sudden we see on Grindr that he's all bent over naked and taking pictures of his butthole, sending it on Grindr. So, you know, he was anti-gay. He talked about how much Larry Craig, Mark Foley, there's like a whole list. There's like a dozen Republicans who hated gays, and then, you know, they just hated gays and repressed it so much and repressed it and tried to tell the world, I'm not gay, I'm not gay, I'm not gay. And all of a sudden, bam, 50 dicks right in their mouth. And that's, you know, that's a problem. I think those people are the rapists, the psychos, are the people that do bad things in this world. Instead of, you know, caring about other people, they'd rather beat the shit out of you, put you in jail, and rape you. And not even maybe in a gay way, probably definitely in a gay way, but more as a power thing, you know. The oppressor, you're shit, you ain't nothing. And so, you know, with all that in mind, I think he's probably the gayest person in the race. Look at him, all prettified. How gay? He's gay. Westerfield is gay, okay? And that's okay, Westerfield. You know, nobody hates you for it. He's been trying to cover it up with his hatred. No, I hate gays. Well, that's okay. You hate yourself. And you've got some weird internal things going on. But being that you're strong and confident, I look forward to seeing a Whitney Westerfield in the future. I think he'll bounce back and really do whatever he wants to do. So I think he's a very, you know, strong politician who doesn't need my support or detraction. I don't know, do like Allison Ball. Be like Allison Ball. And quit hating gays. Quit being a bigoted. Fuck, man. And you know, get a pedicure. He gets pedicures. He gets his feet taken care of, right? He loves his pedicure. You gay. You gay, man. Blackie F and White. You know what I like? He's got a good heart. He says the dirty fucking hippies were right. He is right. He's got 2 glasses on his head. How can you not like his glasses, right? The Reefer Kings, that's his tour bus. He's a rocker, an old school rocker. So, I don't know, good for Blackie White. Blackie F and White is not that bad. I like Blackie F and White. And he says tax the churches. He was talking about lawyers. We got too many lawyers in government. Man, he's got... You know, churches should be taxed. Everybody else got to pay property taxes, and they get away with it, but they're definitely in politics. And then, you know, that's the beginning. That's it. So, who wins? My very superficial sort of race here. The winner, Miss Kentucky, will be Heather Curtis. That's the hottest woman in Kentucky politics right now. Heather Curtis wins. And the hottest man, well, feast your eyes. There she is. Right? You won, you know, put a crown on her head. All right, queen. So, you know, congratulations. Then Adam Edelen, hottest man running. It's coming up. Here he is, not there. Okay, there you go. And in fact, that looks like a J. Crew model, right? He's like a J. Crew model, and he's a good, honest man. So fuck, man. He could be governor, senator. He can do whatever he wants to do. He pretty much owns Kentucky politics. Good reputation, good record of achievement. So look forward to more great things coming from Adam Edelen. Who would win in a fight? That was Westerfield and Janine. So Westerfield, confident, strong. So he's almost like Muhammad Ali, right? He's pretty, And I know I'm pretty, and he can fight. I don't know. Don't know if he's an actual good fighter or not, but it seems like he could. He's got the weight class, so I think the weight would help him in like wrestling and boxing. Allison Ball, for a Republican, I was impressed. I'm impressed, Allison. Actually, because she's so confident, I've considered voting for her instead of Rick. She'll be the only Republican that I would vote for. I mean, she's a treasurer, so, right, she would conserve money, right? That's their fucking thing. And then if the liberal Democrats get in there, then she could sort of tamper it down, make sure they don't spend what they don't have. But the Democrats can be as liberal as they want. If they can get Alice in there, they can be as liberal as they want. And who's the woman that can kick everybody's ass? And there we go. Janine Hampton. So, I predict a Republican sweep. Louisiana, Mississippi, and Kentucky will go Republican. I hope not. There's, you know how it is. Viva la Revolution, Kentucky. Peace.